relationship. Now, I do an anchor spread. I use the tarot, the romance tarot cards and the sex and love tarot cards. I expand with the sex and love cards. We go through the whole scenario here and see what happens. Now, this is for the month of February for Valentine's over that time. And we just kind of work out what happens here. Hopefully it can help you in your relationship somehow, some way, help you get through blunders or make you realize things about your partner, that kind of thing. So I'm going to start out with the first romance card in the spread, and that is the Two of Swords. So for the Sagittarian male in a coupled relationship, we seem to be shutting off our emotions to a certain degree here. Towards our partner, right? Because there's a sash here, and that's a symbol to me that, you know, we're not all in. We're not all exposed to that partner. We're not on the depths that we could be with this relationship. The next card I get for the sex side of things is the Four of Cups. And the Four of Cups really signifies to me, we have a union. There's two people here. They're standing in front of each other. They're trying to communicate, but all their tools are gone. Her cup is way up high. She's not even looking at it. His tools are way up high that he doesn't even know they're there. So there's a lot of things here within the relationship on a romance and sexual side of things that are not being utilized. It seems like a lack of depth here to the relationship is really what I'm sensing. And a shutting down of emotions in some sense. You know, not wanting to expose those emotions fully. The next card I get is Zero, the Fool. And I get that that's the Sagittarian male energy. He's just happy-go-lucky, free as a bird. He does what he wants, and he's really not aware of much. Yeah, free as a bird type thing. I'm noticing all the birds here. It's like feeling free within the relationship, not really having any sense of restriction within the relationship. Let's put it that way. The next card I get to signify that is the Hierophant. So in a certain sense, it's interesting. I get the free as a bird. Like that was really given to me, that phrase, free as a bird. But yet the Hierophant, the symbol of marriage, comes into play here. So feeling free within the relationship, but having a long-term commitment here. It may not be legal marriage. It may be a cohabitation of people for a long period of time, to the point that it's kind of taken for granted this is a couple, right, under God in a sense. But yeah, so having this card illuminate that, and I feel like they're trying to say this is the opposite of this. So the Sagittarian male is feeling, even if he is technically married, he's feeling like he's not married. So I don't know where that sits, but as we move on, we'll find out. And then the Hierophant kind of stating the rules, that there's rules here. And I feel like the Sagittarian male's going, what rules? I'm free. I can do what I want. That kind of thing. So the next card I get is the Ace of Coins. So the Ace of Coins is really a card about money. It is money, right? And I assign it when that is what takes precedence, you know, over the relationship, money. And that's coming right by the Hierophant and the I don't care. So we have a Sagittarian male here that is kind of footloose, fancy free, and he cherishes money above all things. So that seems to be the energy that's coming off here. Now the next card I get for that in the sex area is the Emperor. So not only does he value money highly, but he values being in charge of the relationship. He wants to have control of it, and he needs to know that he is the decision maker and what he says goes. And that's kind of the sense I get here with the Emperor. Yet he's looking towards the future in that way, and he's got his back towards the money. So he may not control all the aspects of the money, but wanting a sense of control within the relationship nonetheless. Now, as we move down here, we have 14, temperance. Now, temperance is about, balancing things out. It could be having or needing patience within the relationship. Now, when I get this Fool card, I feel like, he really doesn't have any worries. There's nothing that worries him. So as I expand on, it's interesting because I'm going from one deck to another, right? I'm going from the romance deck to the sex deck. We get the 14, the temperance card and the romance, and what sits beside it? The temperance card and the sex. So temper is what I'm thinking. Maybe this guy, as light and airy as he feels, somehow maybe he's just got a temper and he has to watch that. He has to watch his temper in the relationship, because there's something to do with that. When we have two of them sitting right by side, there's something here. Something major that has to be looked at. But I'll carry on. The Ten of Cups is what I get for the next romance card. And the Ten of Cups in normal is being fulfilled, in every way. In this romance card, it's more about contentment. And again, the guy's playing the flute, symbolizing the lightheartedness, the non-taking things seriously. Yet there's a Hierophant here that is kind of like trying to balance out that Fool card, because the Fool's going, I don't take anything seriously, and the Hierophant's going, no, you need to take things seriously. So almost like the Sagittarian male in the coupled relationship is not taking things seriously enough. That's the sense I get here. And then there's money right beside it. So we got to be aware of that. Now the Ten of Cups, again, going back, is that male is sitting there. He's content. He's light. He's playing the flute for all these cats. They're sitting there watching him. Then they have this woman. And what I'm getting a sense of here is the space and distance between the two. We don't know if these guys are a couple. We certainly don't think he's aware of her watching. But nonetheless, there's a distance here that's created, and that's what I'm being made aware of in this reading, is that there's a distance here, and there's a sense of lightheartedness definitely between this male. Yet, I get a sense of passion when it comes to temper. So there's something that gets him fired up, and he has to watch that. Now, the Eight of Cups expands on the Ten of Cups, okay? So it's interesting that we're going down in numbers. So it's kind of like we're not moving forward, we're going backwards. But the Ten of Cups is all you can do before you get to the Knights and all of that. So it's almost like we've been where, like, we've got the tools, but we're not utilizing them. Because the Eight of Cups is really about fairy tale wishes, but not having them grounded in reality. So the Eight of Cups is really about the fake love card. Feeling like they're putting on a play for others, but things may not be as great and grand and light as he's letting on. I don't know. That's what I'm getting a sense of here. Because why? Because there's two temperance cards. There's two balance cards. Like, whoa, you got to temper things. So is that a temper, or is that, and also, all of this lightheartedness, it's like we're not taking things seriously enough. And the things that we are taking seriously may not be in the areas that we need it to be. Like the things that are making us angry or agitated are not really important. And the things that are important are just being lost. This is what I'm getting a sense is. That's kind of the injustice. That's where the Hierophant is standing here trying to get some kind of spiritual awakening in here. Now, so we have the Eight of Cups, which really symbolizes, a disconnection nonetheless. And then the Ten of Cups, even though the Ten of Cups is supposed to be arriving at that emotional security, I feel a distance here. As we move on, we get the three, the Empress, right? And she's the symbol of she's the mother figure. We got puppies in the background, so there may be a sense here that you have children or a brood that you look after. And the woman kind of in this card doesn't seem to be too happy. But nonetheless, the Empress is about all of those abundant things that the feminine side carries. You know, that children is one of them. That's an aspect we can have here. But also about mystery and things that are kind of under wraps. That's the word I was given here, under wraps. Now, 3 Empress, what do I expand on that with? 2 of Wands. So the 2 of Wands is really, it's that fire energy again. It's that passion igniting. Somebody wanting to get together and flirt. So you do have an interest in your partner. You do have a spark there that lingers, and you have it's a connection that both people want to know more about the other. So that's a good way to be. So we have the Empress energy, you know, kind of bringing in compassion and an abundance to that. So that's a good energy here. The next card I get is the 8 of Coins. And the 8 of Coins is really about that fun-spirited, youthful play that makes you enjoy things. Feeling like you can be like a kid. And I get the sense the Sagittarian's grabbing right onto that energy. You can be lighthearted and happy-go-lucky, and that's really the expression of it outward into the relationship. So there's an interest in the partner, and there seems to be an acceptable amount of this going around. Okay, so to expand on that, in the bedroom we get the 10 of Cups, and the 10 of Cups again is supposed to be that acceptance of the emotional side. And I get that we're both full here, but they're making me notice that one partner's running away. There's an offer here from a woman, and the man is running away. Now, this could go gender, whatever, because this is a general reading, so we could switch gender roles, whatever. But someone's kind of offering here, and the other person's not aware, or they're too busy, or you know, not interested. I feel an interest here and a lightheartedness within the relationship, but there may be times here where there's no time, you know, where there's other things that are made a priority. And we have money here up in the top, so they may be off chasing money instead of chasing the fun and love and romance from the relationship. Okay, so the next card I get is the 5 of Coins. And the 5 of Coins is really about that lighthearted energy. I mean, this couple's out in the public. They're socializing and they're having a great time, and they don't care who sees or what's going on. And I get a sense here, the man is really stimulating the woman more than anything. And the woman may be on the lighter side of things. So there's a sense here of trying to impress the partner. And not only that, of being out and about and enjoying themselves. So that's good. I mean, that's what you need, right? Because in the beginning here, I'm getting a sense of an individual, right? And then a lack of skills within the partnership. But there's obviously something going on here, because we've got some getting to know each other, right? So maybe there's some new relationships here for the Sagittarian males, that they're coming across this object of affection, and they're really willing to bring all of that happiness and joyfulness into the relationship. But they got to watch when they're chasing their money here, that they don't leave the partner out of the mix. You know, going like, everybody has to work, but in order to really not shun the partner and make it all about work, you know, that's the sense I get here. But there is tinges of times where they absolutely indulge, to go out and they have fun, and they indulge in things in a public venue. So they socialize and do things together. Now to expand on that in the bedroom, we get the Five of Swords. And the Five of Swords is just really getting gritty with it. Just doing what you do in a relationship. And of course, the Swords is the air sign, so it's a little less on the emotional side and more about communicating. And I'm getting a sense too here that we may be getting busy in a physical side of things, but may not having a lot of time to wallow in it or enjoy it on an emotional level. But it's getting done, but it's kind of up in the hecticness of it all, right? In the job and and it's we're squeezing it in there, but it hasn't got all of the elements, right? Hasn't got the passion and it hasn't got the emotion, but the physical element is there, right? And we know we've done it and that kind of thing. The last romance card for the reading is the one, the Magician. So we have Zero, the Fool, like the state of where he's at, taking off in a new beginning. And we may have some males here that are, you know, just in the throes of a new romantic situation. And for them, I feel like they really do have all the tools that they need to go forward with this. Now, the interesting thing is, the Magician is looking towards all of this stuff. And at the end here, we have the Queen of Pentacles with her back to the Magician. And the Queen of Pentacles is really about a coldness and you know, not wanting to indulge in a relationship in any way. You have someone at your feet and she looks like she's just about to kick him away. He's reaching for her, but she's just about to kick him away. Like she's really cold-hearted in that way. She's not willing to expend any more emotions in that area. So it's interesting because we have a male here that is really in the throes of happiness and joyfulness within the relationship. And we seem to have a mutual getting to know each other. But there's offers here, 3/4 of the way down, that kind of symbolize someone's not getting attention. Someone's not getting the attention they deserve. And though the Magician holds all the tools he needs. So if it's the Sagittarian male that's not getting attention, he has all the tools to make it happen for him. So if your partner is not giving you attention, all you have to do is engage there. And if it's you that is not giving your partner attention, you may have to do that as well. You have to turn the cheek, because I feel like money here is the root of where you are putting your priorities, and you may have to shift that a little bit to the area where you make sure that you don't dilute the relationship through work, right? We want to make sure that, I mean, we make that a priority, but we don't exclude the partner because of it. Because I'm getting a sense of socializing as well. But again, the temper. It's like temper. That's what they want to say. Just watch the temper. There's something about the temper here. And maybe you have a temper. You're happy-go-lucky, but things get you down that you blow. And it has turned off your partner. You may have shut your partner down. But for the most part, outward appearances seems like everything's going fine. But I think on the inside, there's stuff brewing here. You got to be careful. And really the root is temper, and having to include your partner to a degree that you need to understand they're feeling left out. They shut down emotionally, and there's a reason for that. And I feel it's directly related to how this relationship deals with itself, meaning how one partner deals with the other. There's something there that has shut off the one partner. So they need to go in and investigate what that is. Now we start off with a shielding of the heart with the Sagittarian male, but yet we have a sense of freedom with the Fool. So I feel like he is a very closed out to what that may be, or even that there's a problem at all. That's another thing I'm getting. Is he may be so footloose and fancy free that he has no clue that things are kind of, you know, part, you are 50-50 in the relationship, so if there's something wrong, there's a responsibility there to look into it. And I feel like there's no reason, he's like, not feeling the responsibility for that. Not feeling like he has the responsibility for that. Yet I feel like there's something, something here about his temper that he has to gain control of. And that may be part of the problem here, but I'm not being let in on that to a degree at all. But they just keep saying temper, 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 temper. Watch the temper. Because man, it's like when it's really good, but there's kind of a dark energy over this temperance, making me wonder what that's about, but they're not letting me see it. But yet there's a fondness here and a lightness. It's almost, again, like a little bit of a bipolar. It seems more good and jolly than bad, but there's something here that is getting worse and worse as time goes on. And the temperance is right in the middle of it all. So we have to balance our emotions in that way if we are getting angry at something or something is agitating us. And it may be how we gain our money. If that is the deal, we need to change that, because we are the emperor and we have the tools of the magician. So we have what we need to change things. So we just need to do that, because I feel like this is really hurting the relationship. Something outside is hurting the relationship. It really has to do with money and financial stability. How it's gained or how it's perceived within the relationship and how that's dealt with as a whole through the relationship. Something about money here and something about tempers flaring, you know. And of course we got Sagittarius is that fire and that passion. So it comes out, right? And also, we have tools here we're not utilizing, but then we have tools in the end that we know we can use back in this way. So we have to watch that. It's a very confusing and conflicting reading here. Like it's hard to make sense of, because there's so many varying cards that kind of contradict. You know, you have the Fool and the Hierophant. Fool, it takes nothing seriously. He's got no baggage. Nothing bothers him. He goes off. Then the Hierophant is about rules and regulations and stability and all of that. And then we have temper, temper. And then we have the Ten of Cups and the Eight of Cups. And the Ten of Cups is about contentment within the emotions. And the Eight of Cups is about kind of like faking it. You know, putting on a show for others, but that's not what's really going on here. So there's something with all of that. And I feel like the putting on a show, I mean, it's directly under the temperance. So maybe we have a temper here that is flaring behind closed doors, but we don't let that out in public. We watch that in public so that we don't get blamed for that, right? And then we have an Empress here and then a Queen of Pentacles. The Empress is really opposite of the Queen of Pentacles. She's willing to express and go those areas with love, compassion. And we have all of that here. And the fun, I'm getting fun factor here is high. But yet there's something, it ends on shut down feelings. So maybe there's something here that happens with the temper. We're jolly and then all of a sudden, boom, we get our temper flares and we shut down the partner. We have an argument or blowout. I don't really see that happening, but it's almost like that's the sense I'm getting. We have anger and blowouts that just shut the other person down. So be aware of that. Hopefully you can thwart that and get it away so that you can deal with that. It seems to be a problem area somehow within the relationship. So for February, happy Valentine's Day for the Sagittarian male couples. Hopefully this helps you figure out something within the relationship or highlight things for you in that way. Take care, have fun, and be kind.